The sound of pages turning means it's time for another episode from the Meredith Library podcast studio, bringing you the library's latest news, information, and fun.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode number 33 of Check It Out, here on the Meredith Library podcast studio.
Today, we are going to be going over library events that are happening at the Meredith Public Library in the month of April.
Well, I love that. So many exciting things going on. What do you have for us first, Anna?
We actually have so much going on, which we always do. We're a very busy library.
True.
On April 3rd, that night at 6:30 to 7:30, we have a program called Investigate Genetic Genealogy and the DNA Doe Project, a crash course. And this is a very fascinating program that I think we have going on. Would you like me to explain it?
Yes, please.
We have DNA Doe Project volunteer genetic genealogist Chelsea Hanrahan coming in, and she is going to be going over the entire concept of the DNA Doe Project, which is using investigative genetic genealogy to solve cases for law enforcement that have been cold for possibly, a couple years or even further back in time. And she is a rock star. She has a crazy list of qualifications or a really impressive resume. And I think it'll be a really good program. One of the things we noticed is that she does research for a podcast.
Oh, what is the title of it?
Murder, She Told.
I love that.
Yes. So definitely check that out, especially if you are into genealogy, criminal investigation, true crime, or anything else like that. She seems really cool.
It's like our own version of CSI NH.
On April 4th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the Makerspace, we have another Hit Crafternoon event going on, and you got to sign up for these quick. At the time of recording, there are 2 spaces open, and this month it is No Sew Bunnies.
Oh, that sounds fun and easy.
Yeah, it seems like it's fuzzy socks, so that sounds cozy.
All right, and you said there were 2 spaces available as of this recording, and people could always sign up and be on the wait list. So if someone else cancels, it automatically moves you up and lets you know. The whole system does all that fun stuff in the background.
Yeah, so don't be totally discouraged. Try the wait list. Also on April 4th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in the function room, is another one of the Introduction to Adult Role-Playing games. These are games you don't have to have attended previous events because each one is called a one-shot, where you just come in and kind of play pretend for 3 hours, but in the cool adult way where there's like a really complicated rule system. And this month, the role-playing game is called Call of Cthulhu. And that is based off of H.P. Lovecraft's horror story with the same name, and investigates the idea of cosmic horror, which is the horrific realization that we might be ants in the universe. We might be so insignificant that there might be some alien entity that just comes and just sees us as nothing more significant than dirt and doesn't care if we live or die. So very existential.
And you mentioned that was 5 to 8 on a Friday night. So that means the library will be closed. So this is a special after-hours event, and people have to sign up for that on the website.
Currently, there are 4 open seats. Thursday, April 10th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the function room, we will be having a program called The History of the Kankamangas Highway. Would you like to tell us about that, Matthew?
All right, Anna, I will actually let you read the official description, but I will say that we expect it to be very popular because it's one of those New Hampshire humanities presentations, and they always seem to draw a large amount of people. So when we had the Old Man of the Mountain presentation, I think it was in February, so a couple months ago now, we had about 30 people that night, something like that. So I think that people will really want to come to it because they get to be nostalgic and share their memories of what they know of such a famous local, I want to say landmark, but in this case, it's not even the right word. It's not a landmark. It's a geographical feature. Let's go with that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I think New Hampshire history, local history is always very appealing. It's a program that always gets a decent amount of attendance. But yeah, this scholar, Glenn A. Knobloch, is going to come in. He's a scholar and author of over 20 books. And so he has done research on this, and he'll be giving the presentation. Next on the agenda on Saturday, April 12th from 11 to 12:30 is Makerspace Saturday, which you host with the assistant director, Chris Leland. So what are you guys featuring in the Makerspace on Saturday?
This month, we're going to take a look at the 3D printer. And I think that holds a lot of fascination for people because you kind of hear about that a lot in the news, but people don't actually see one in action or see one at all. So people will get a chance to look at the actual printer in the Makerspace, and Chris will show the software and how you have to set up the project that you would be making. And particularly, we have decided to make little 3D bunny rabbits and flowers because it's spring and Easter.
Love that. Yeah. And I think a lot of people also might be aware of what a 3D printer is, but not know what you can use it for. And Chris uses it a lot, so he could definitely answer questions about how you could apply it to your daily life, like what it could be useful for. So I think that's a great piece of technology to highlight for that day.
Yes.
Thursday, April 17th, we just thought we would mention this. The library will be closed for staff training all day. We will be going to the New Hampshire Library Association conference that's actually being held in Meredith. So we have to, put on a good appearance and show up for our town. Yes,
it should be really interesting. And people will come back with all kinds of new ideas that we can implement here at the library.
Yes, and Aaron will be presenting. So, that's fun. That's exciting. On Tuesday, April 22nd, from 11 to 12:30 in the function room, we are having a program called Lunch and Learn, Nutrition and Aging.
So Hannaford has a program where they actually employ nutritionists or dietitians who are available to go out to the public to different groups and do presentations such as this one. So we have invited a woman from Hannaford to come to us, and she will be talking about nutrition and aging, as you said. Since it is called Lunch and Learn, we will also be providing lunch as well. And at this point, thinking it's some kind of soup for one main portion of it, and perhaps rolls or bread. I'm not exactly sure yet. We haven't worked out the entire menu yet. But in any case, it will be good and fun.
I'm being so dead serious right now. Like, I've never said something more serious to you in my entire life. I love soup with bread more than I think anything else. Like, nothing beats just a dipping of a roll and a good hearty soup. And that's one of the sad things about it getting warmer out, is that the soup weather it's not as pristine. So that's great. It sounds like a great lunch. The next program that we have going on that's sort of unique and cool is on April 22nd as well, but at night from 6 to 7:30 in the function room. We will be having an April poetry celebration with poets Jessica Pulver and Carla Schwartz, who will read their poetry and sign books.
Yes, and April is National Poetry Month, which is why we're holding the celebration in April. And in addition to the two presenters that you mentioned, those two poets, the public is also invited to share their poetry up to one page, so it will also have an open mic segment.
Oh, I love a coffee house open mic type of situation. That's great.
And now, Anna, for our listeners who are faithful and never miss an episode,
right?
Do you think I should read my sonnet?
100%.
Okay, maybe I will. We'll see.
Go for it. I mean, and you can give your little, what do you call it?
Preamble?
Like, preamble. Yeah, just to make sure everybody knows that you're not that insane. But
and if they have not been faithfully listening to every episode, they need to go back right after this one and listen to our 2-part interview with John Lynn, the Shakespeare instructor, and they will know exactly what sonnet I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. The next program we have going on is on Wednesday, April 23rd from 6:30 to 7:30 in the function room. And it's part of the financial literacy series that we have going on. And it's called When to Claim Social Security Benefits.
Our financial advisor, who comes monthly, is named Matt Rigotti. And he was here last month for an open forum type question. It was get your question answered. And a lot of things came up about Social Security, so we thought it would make sense that the next monthly topic would be when to claim Social Security. So he can answer all kinds of questions you would have about that. And he will actually have a formal presentation first as well, where he's going over things that people should be considering when making that decision.
Really good, really useful, applicable information that could really put you in a good position for your retirement.
Yes.
Finally, on Friday, April 25th, from 5 to 8 p.m., this is on a Friday, so this is a lock-in, we have another genealogy event that Aaron hosts.
So this is another after-hours special event that people have to sign up for.
And it's been done before. It's very popular. People that have done it before, welcome back, but also new people are always welcome. And just to briefly go over, we have all the normal recurring programs that we typically have in a month. So our Naughty Knitters, which is our knitting group, it's on April 10th and 24th.
So that's Thursday mornings from 9 to 11.
Mm-hmm. On Friday, April 11th and 25th, we have our Sit and Sew group in the Makerspace.
Yes, and that's in the mornings from 9:15 a.m. to 12:45 p.m.
And then we have all of our lovely book groups. So we have the Shakespeare book group, which is April 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 30th from 1 to 2:30.
They will be reading Henry V starting on April 2nd.
We have the Laid Back book group, which is April 8th, 10:30 to 11:30.
And that one does not require people reading any particular book ahead of time. People can just come and discuss whatever book they've been reading recently, or maybe even movies or television shows. And the point is to just enjoy discussing different media and share recommendations with other people in the group.
We also have the Mystery book group, which is Thursday, April 10th from 10:30 to 11:30.
And this month's book is Daisy Darker.
On Thursday, April 24th from 12 to 1 p.m., we have the Brown Bag book group, which we'll be reading Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. And then on Tuesday, April 29th from 6:30 to 7:30, the Nonfiction book group will be reading Fly Girl by Anne Hood. So that is finally it for everything we have going on. It's a lot.
I know. There were probably more surprises along the way, too. Who knows?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the teen and the children's programs.
That's true. There's lots of stuff going on there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
As always, all of it is available on the website at meredithlibrary.org under news and events.
Well, it was good talking with you today, Matthew.
Same here, as always, Anna.
Everyone can tune in next time at the Meredith Library Podcast Studio.
All right, we will look forward to it. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Podcast music titled Daytime TV Theme by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0.
Podcast copyright 2025. Meredith Library Podcast Studio.